my loves, welcome back to my channel. Are you guys excited for story time today? Because I am. I hope you guys got your wine and got your snacks. Okay, buckle in, girl. First of all, I hope you guys had an amazing Halloween and you guys are ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything else. A few weeks back, I was at the mall with my boys and I was shopping around for our clothes for our family fall photo shoot because we had to match, you know what I'm saying? I was going from store to store, trying to pick their outfits and stuff, and I actually ran into one of my Glamazons. Her name was Angelina. Hey, girl. I ran into her at her job at the mall, right? So she recognized me. It was so amazing to meet her in person. And when I meet you guys, one of my biggest questions to you guys is, what's your favorite story time? Like, what is your favorite story time of mine that was just like, you know, your all-time favorite, your number one, like what was it? And so I asked her this question and she said, my all-time favorite story time with you was you fighting the pregnant girl. Typically, anything that has to do with my crazier moments in life, such as fighting, arguing, being ratchet, is the messy shit that y'all like hearing about. So, who am I to keep you guys from the tea? So, here I am with some tea, okay? And this is some pretty hot tea. So, I personally feel like I haven't given you guys like the more juicy stories because I like banking them, and so I'm gonna give y'all a juicy one today. So I hope you guys are ready. As usual, before we get into today's story time, today's glamour shot of the day is my beautiful Glamazon Alexia. She used her hashtag Glamazon shot on Instagram for me to find her beautiful photo. Thank you so much for loving me and supporting me. You guys don't know how much this means to me, honestly, and you guys know that I would not be here without you, and I could not do this without each and every one of you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's get into the story time. The story is going to be about a really cute couple. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in school, no matter what school I went to, there was always that one couple. That one couple that's been together forever, that seems like they never fight. They just like have it all figured out in high school as far as relationships go. They're the types that have been dating since like middle school and like all the way through high school, and then, you know, them types, okay? We all know them. This story takes place at my shitty school, where most of my ratchet stories take place. So as most of you guys know, I transferred to my shitty school my freshman year, right? So this is where the story is gonna begin, sort of, kind of. So when I transferred over to my shitty school, you know, you get to know people, you get to know your school and the people in it. Like, who do you always see around each other? Who's best friends with who? Who's dating who? Trying to figure out like the social economic ish going on in your school, okay? So I decided to take this debate class. In my debate class is where I met, we will name her Kimberly, okay? So this is where I met Kimberly. Let me tell you a little bit about her. So Kimberly was actually older than me. So when I was a freshman, she was already a junior. She was beautiful, okay? Like, she was gorgeous. Honestly, she was one of those girls that you just like look at and like nothing's wrong with them, you know what I'm saying? Debate was really important to her, and she was just really smart, you guys. Like, that's all I can say about her, is that she was just really smart and really pretty, and she just, you could tell she was not about the bullshit. She was never involved in school drama. She was never like ever, right? I was never like friends with Kimberly. I knew who she was. Like, we were friendly, but we weren't friends. I mean, why would we be? I was a freshman, she was a junior, right? But I did see her like around school and stuff. As time went on throughout my freshman year, I found out that Kimberly had a boyfriend, and not only did she have a boyfriend, she had a long-term boyfriend, and we will name him Tony, okay? So Kimberly and Tony. Now, they were not the normal average high school on again, off again couple. They were that rare, got it all together, got it all figured out, been together forever type of couple. So Kimberly and Tony had been together since, I mean, I want to say, I don't want to lie, I want to say like 6th, 7th grade. I know that it was since middle school, for like 4 or 5 years at this point. And I don't know about y'all, but that was like unheard of. So in a nutshell, that's Kimberly and Tony, okay? Perfect couple, been together forever. Oh my God. She's beautiful. She's smart. What more could he want? Like, they never fought. They never broke up. There was never any drama between them. Nobody was ever like messing with them as far as like, you know, trying to mess up their relationship ever. Like, you just never heard about it. They were always solid. Fast forward to my sophomore year, and this is where the nitty-gritty of the story is going to come into play, okay? By my sophomore year, I had no classes with her. Obviously, she was a senior, I was a sophomore. I don't know why, but my freshman year wasn't like this, but my sophomore year, all of a sudden, Tony he was riding my bus, and Tony was already a senior. So he started riding my bus, no big deal. I just remember like seeing him and being like, oh, like that's weird. You weren't on the bus last year, but you a senior now and you on the bus. Like with him riding the bus every day, morning and afternoon, I kind of got to know him a little better. And it was like us as a group, like it was a huge group of us that sat on the bus. And so he and I did not talk directly, but he was like a part of the group. So I heard him talking. We would have like big ass conversations, and he was like one of the people there. So I got to know him more than I had known him before, and he just seemed like a really good guy. And he was always bringing up his girlfriend Kimberly, and he was just like a very sweet, honest, seemingly honest guy. So I don't know how she would get to school, but when he was riding our bus, legit every morning, you guys, when we would like pull up to the school, we would see Kimberly standing outside the school, and she'd be waiting for Tony. So like you guys, they were like inseparable. Okay, let's fast forward a few months, and I'm going to talk about my friend, and we will name her, let's name her Alyssa. Okay, so my friend Alyssa was actually a freshman. Okay, so don't get confused. So at this point in time, I am a sophomore. Kimberly and Tony are seniors. Okay, now there's my friend that I just made that year, and she was a freshman, and her name was Alyssa. And I actually met her through Alicia, my bestie, my home skillet biscuit. Okay, but anyway, she was a freshman, and we were like helping her out during the beginning of the year and stuff, and I got to know her. We would have lunch together or whatever, and she was just really chill. A little about Alyssa was very friendly, but she was just really loud. She was one of those people where she was like, you know, I like you and everything, but if my opinion differs than yours, I'm gonna let you know. It kind of became like a routine that she was a part of like the lunch group that I would have lunch with when it wasn't just Alicia and I, right? One morning came around, and I remember that we had come to the school, you know, on the bus. It was just routine that Kimberly would be waiting outside of the school for Tony, right? And I just remember one morning came around and she wasn't there. I overheard one of his friends, one of Tony's friends, asking him, where's your girl? And Tony was like, oh, she went to go visit family or something. Like, yeah, you know, she's gonna be gone for a while, like a week and a half. Fast forward another few days. We were having lunch as per usual, and it was me and my girls. It was probably like a group of like 4 or 5 of us on a good day. Alyssa was at the table, and she was like on her phone and just like cheesing. Y'all know that look when like your friend is like this. Y'all know the look, you know, the look of infatuation when your friend is talking to someone new, right? So we were all at the table, and Alicia looked at Alyssa and was like, who are you smiling at all the time? Like, who are you texting? Who's making you smile like that? Like, dang, girl. And, you know, all this time, Alyssa had been single. Like, she wasn't really dating anybody. She was, like, talking, you know, to a few people here and there, but, like, nothing serious. Alicia was like, spill it. Like, who are you talking to, right? She was like, oh, nobody, nothing, it's nothing. But she could not stop smiling. And so we were like, girl, tell us. Like, y'all know when your friend is just now talking to somebody new, you want to know so bad. Like, girl, spill it. Alyssa's not cracking. She's not trying to tell us who the hell it is that she's texting. And so Alicia and I are on her ass. Like, why is it a big deal? Why are you making this so weird? Like, it doesn't even need to be weird. Like, you know, why is it a secret? Who is it? We had to do that, you guys, for a good 15-20 minutes straight. She goes the whole lunch period, you guys, not telling us anything. There was a bathroom near the cafeteria, and that bathroom was always empty in comparison to all the other ones, you know? So we would always go to that bathroom before the end of lunch period. Look all cute, check our hair, whatever. So we go in the bathroom, and I went into a stall. While I was in the stall, I hear Alicia still on Alyssa's ass, like, who is it? Like, you're gonna tell me, you know? Like, Alicia was like, you're gonna tell me. Like, I know you try not to tell me, but you're gonna tell me, so you might as well just tell me now. Like, she was doing one of those, right? So I was in the stall, and I was like, Alicia, will you leave her alone? I finally come out of the stall. I go up to the sink, and I'm washing my hands, and I looked at Alyssa, and I was like, girl, just tell us. I was like, stop playing this game. I was like, we just want to support you, you know, like, whatever you're doing or whatever makes you happy, you know? This is where we kind of broke her. You guys know that look of like, I'm falling, and I'm falling really hard, and she just had that like far away look, and she was like, and he makes me really, really happy. She was like, you guys have to promise to like not tell nobody, because we're still trying to figure it out, and you know, we're not trying to like make it a big deal or like be official or anything. We're just talking. Okay, like whatever, logistics aside, whatever, just tell us, right? I've been talking to Tony. I didn't know a Tony like in our grade or in any of our classes, and I just sat there and I was like, Tony? I was like, who's Tony? I was like, do I know him? And she was like, yeah, because he rides our bus. You mean tied down, damn near married Tony? What you mean, Tony? I don't want to seem judgy. I don't know what the hell's going on. I can't sit here and pretend like I know what's going on. So I was like, oh. I was so confused because, what you mean, Tony? Because like Tony's been damn near married for like 5 years since he was like 12 years old. What you mean? Alicia was the one that like spoke up, and she was like, hold up. She was like, you mean Kimberly's Tony? She said that, Alyssa got real annoyed, and she was like, that's not Kimberly's Tony. What you mean Kimberly's Tony? They're not even together. That's not Kimberly's Tony. You guys, it got real weird real fast, and I was like, okay, like this is obviously a sore spot for you, and it's really hard to verify because Kimberly's out of town. So, you know, I really couldn't. I was trying in my mind to be like, when's the last time I saw Kimberly and Tony together? I was like, is she out of town and they're broken up? Like, what do you mean? And I, just a few days before that, I had heard Tony telling people on the bus, oh, my girl's just out of town. So what you mean? Like, how are you talking to Tony, right? I was like, wait a minute, they're not together? And she was like, no, they're not together no more. Like, they're taking a break. You know, a break just means that, like a break, like they're gonna get back together. And she was like, no, they're not gonna get back together. Tony told me, you know, they've just been together for too long and it's just not working out. But he and I are just talking. We're not together either. So I told Alyssa, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, are you sure? And she goes, yeah, I'm sure. What do you mean? The other day on the bus, like when we got to school, I heard Tony tell everyone that she was going out of town, but they were like, it seemed like they were still together. I wasn't trying to rain on my girl's parade. I was not trying to like start no shit. I was just genuinely confused. Nikki, she's like, I'm telling you that they're not together. Like, I would not be talking to some dude that already has a girl. Like, you know me. And I was like, I mean, yeah, that's true. Alyssa was not the type of person to be, you know, messing around with somebody else's man. I don't know Kimberly like that, and I don't know Tony like that. I could very well be wrong, and I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So, you know, once she told me straight up, like, Nikki, I'm telling you, this is what it is. You know, I would never do some shit like that. And, you know, we're just talking. It's not that big of a deal. None of it fit, but I just didn't feel like I had the place to keep questioning it, right? So I was like, oh, when my birthday came around, I just remember my friends doing the most. So I had come to school and Alicia had gotten me this huge balloon, and she did this our freshman year, and this was the second year in a row that she had done this. But she would get those huge, like super big, obnoxious, like hit it and it starts making noise type of balloons, okay? Alicia gives me this big ass balloon and like a gift bag and a card. She was so amazing. Our lockers were legit like this wide. I'm not even kidding. So there was no way that my balloon, my big ass balloon, was gonna fit in my locker. Alicia just thought that that was like the funniest shit on earth, for me to have to walk around with this balloon all day. She did it on purpose so that like everyone would know it's my birthday, right? Y'all know Alicia. She was like, it's her birthday, it's Nikki's birthday, y'all say happy birthday. And then I went to my math class, and that's when my friend John, my really, really good friend, he like legit just walked in the middle of my class while my teacher was teaching and came in with this huge life-size bear, you guys, like huge, okay? And he comes in with this bear and it has a red bow tie on it, and he gives it to me in front of everybody. He was like, oh my god, happy birthday, like you're like such a good friend or whatever. And he was like such a sweetheart. And so he gives me this huge teddy bear in front of my whole class. I ran into Alyssa out in the hallway during passing period. Hey, can you stop by my locker really fast? I have something to give you. And I was like, yeah, of course. She opens her locker and she gives me this little gift bag or whatever, and she was like, happy birthday. Then out of nowhere, this girl pulls out a damn tiara, okay? Like one of those tiaras that you can find at like Claire's or icing or whatever. So she pulls out this damn tiara, you guys, and puts it on my head. And she was like, you have to wear this all day. You are the birthday girl. Like, I want you to wear it all day. Otherwise, I'm gonna be so hurt. You guys, there goes my ass walking down the hallway with a big ass life-size teddy bear, a big ass obnoxious balloon, and a damn tiara on my head. Y'all, I looked ridiculous everywhere I went. Like, oh my God, everybody was like, really? Like, you're doing the most. And I was like, so fast forward to after second period, and that's when lunch was, right? I drop off my backpack and all that at my locker, and Alicia's locker was like a few lockers down from mine, so she and I would always meet up there for lunch. Take off together to lunch. Now, I had to carry this big ass stuffed animal and this balloon or whatever to lunch as well, because like there's just nowhere to put it. Okay, start walking, and we round the corner, we go down the hallway, and we see Alyssa at her locker, and she's dropping off her stuff. So we go downstairs to like the main area, and we start walking and filtering into the cafeteria with the rest of the kids. I'm looking all crazy. It just, you know, school is really loud, especially like during lunchtime or whatever. It's just like really loud. Like everyone is just like on a level 10, and it's just like super loud, talking loud, so all you can hear is just like people and just voices and just like yelling or whatever. So we rounded the corner and we're right near the cafeteria, and I just remember it got really loud, and I was like trying to talk to the girls. So we keep walking, and you know, everyone's going the same way, and so we're going towards the cafeteria, and the closer we're getting to the cafeteria, the louder the voices are getting, and the louder everyone's getting. And Alicia and Alyssa and I are like, what is going on? Like, it just sounded like commotion, like something was about to pop off. Start hearing, here she comes, here she comes. Who is it? Like, who's almost here? Who's coming? You know what I'm saying? So I start looking around like, who's coming? I start noticing that everyone around us is kind of like backing up. Like they're like, say we're like all walking this way, and everyone just kind of like dispersed outward like this, creating like a circle, you know? I instinctively start backing up towards the wall too. Like, this ain't got shit to do with me. I don't know what's going on. So like, I'm about to watch, like, what the hell? Out of the crowd steps Kimberly. Look, she straight up, she was like, and looked straight at us, like our direction. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I ain't got no beef with Kimberly. Like, I don't even know her. I know this ain't got shit to do with me. By sophomore year, y'all, anytime I heard commotion, I was like, is it me though? Am I involved in some shit? And I don't even know I'm involved in some shit, because that's happened before. She looks at Alyssa like she wants to kill her. Alyssa's been talking to Tony while Kimberly was out of town. I start putting all this shit together, right? By the time I put the pieces together, y'all, and like I'm like figuring out what's going on, they're already in a full-on argument. Like full-on yelling at each other, calling each other bitches, hoes, every name in the book. Like they just, ooh. Kimberly was saying something to the effect of like, this bitch, this hoe right here likes messing with other people's man. I was just gone for a week and you're gonna do some shit like that. Everyone knows that Tony's my man, and she's like going off, right? You guys, I blink and there she goes. She starts stepping up to Kimberly. She starts talking shit back, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you heard, but your man is the one that told me that y'all weren't together no more, and he's been all up on my phone. If you got a problem with that, you need to talk to your man. She was like, if that even is your man, because you have been on the phone all night long, and like just like adding salt to the wound basically. And I was like, Alyssa was like 5'3" and so in comparison, you guys, like Kimberly just towered over her, but Alyssa just did not give a shit. Okay, I still got my big ass teddy bear, my big ass balloon, and my tiara. Okay, my friend is about to get into a fight. Kimberly starts swinging off on Alyssa. Full on swinging off. Like, didn't say nothing else. Just see her cock back. She swung at Alyssa and tried to hit Alyssa in her face. Hit landed, but like not on her face, right? So she moved last minute and she was like, bitch, I know you did not. Like a monchichi, okay? Like she went into full on rage mode and she starts swinging off on Kimberly's big ass, okay? To be real with y'all, because Alyssa was a freshman and she was so little, I was like, oh my God, Alyssa's about to get her ass beat. Kimberly grabbed Alyssa by the hair, right? She grabbed her by the hair. That was like the first thing that she did. Alyssa starts punching at Kimberly, and Kimberly like has her by the hair and like is going like this and swinging from this way, like, you know, doing one of these, like like hitting her with this part of her hand, she wasn't landing any of those punches on Alyssa's face. She was like getting a bunch of body shots, like all right here, right? So she has Alyssa by the hair. Just hold my breath, like what do you do? This is one-on-one, like I can't jump in. Like at that point, that's like jumping her. That's stupid, so I'm not gonna do that. So Alyssa tried to punch back, but Kimberly's arm and like her wingspan was so long that when Alyssa was punching back, she was landing them, but they weren't like powerful because she was having to reach so far and she was barely reaching Kimberly. So this girl decided to get a little crazy and she started kicking. She like started kicking Kimberly like in her legs and her knees and shit. And so she starts kicking and she gets Kimberly to let go of her hair. The minute that Kimberly let go of her hair, you guys, like she put up her fist in front of her face like a damn boxer and started boxing Kimberly. Kimberly starts swinging, they're just swinging off on each other. Then they grab each other's hair and they pull each other down towards the ground. Both of them. Here's the thing. Fighting in general, like fist fighting, can be really entertaining, but at the same time, it's just really terrible because I remember this was like one of the worst fights that I had experienced, because when I tell y'all that when I was sitting there and they went down to the ground and they're like pulling each other's hair like that's normal or whatever, but then Alyssa, like I don't know what got into her, but y'all, she started punching and like landing them shits on Kimberly's face and like on her head and on her face, and the sound that makes when somebody's fist is hitting like somebody else's face, y'all, it is like, oh, it just sounds so terrible, and all you could hear was just We start seeing trickles of blood coming out of Kimberly's mouth. She pulled back and I just saw blood on her hand, and she did not care. She had her by her hair and was like sitting on top of her, and with every punch she was pulling Kimberly's face into her fist. So she was doing this, okay, and you just see her fucking, I wanted to go over there and like pull Alyssa off of Kimberly, because at some point, like, okay girl, like you already done beat her ass, okay, like at this point you just beating a dead horse. I start yelling and I'm like, Alyssa, okay, you beat her ass, okay, stop. And so I'm yelling while everyone else around the circle is like, beat her ass. Some of them are like, Kimberly, get up, don't let her hit you, Kimberly, put your hands up, blah blah blah. So you have like all these people yelling, and I'm like, Alyssa, stop fucking hitting her, okay. Walk up to them and I start like nudging Alyssa with my foot, because like I got these things in my hand and I was like, Alyssa. And Alyssa looked at me, she was like, quit fucking kicking me. And I was like, I'm not kicking you, I'm trying to get you off of her. So like I'm like trying to reason with her while she's in the middle of this fight and she's beating Kimberly's ass. So Alicia grabbed me, she was like, girl, stay out of it. I was like, I'm trying to stay out of it. She's like beating the shit out of her, like, oh my god. Our no good, our freaking useless school security finally comes and they break the girls up. Kimberly looked messed up. Her hair was all everywhere, her face was all red and purple, and like she was like bleeding from her mouth from like multiple different spots. Still after having just gotten the shit beat out of her, still talking shit. They were just barely like, you know, getting Alyssa away from her. Y'all, she kicked Kimberly in the face, straight on, in the face, in the nose, like boom. It like made my blood run cold. It was so, oh my god. Kimberly went back and she went forward and just gushed blood from her nose. Just like, I guess she got like embarrassed, because I mean all this happened in front of everybody. They were like trying to help her up. She was still talking shit. I'ma beat your ass every time I see you, and like just talking shit. She's over there all bloody, all just looking all kinds of stupid, and I was sitting there like, Kimberly, really? I could tell that she was just like trying to salvage any pride that she had, because y'all, she got her ass beat by a freshman in front of everybody. After that, everyone goes into the lunchroom. Alyssa got hauled off to the office, so did Kimberly. So we go into the lunchroom, you guys, and that's all anybody could talk about, was how Kimberly got her ass beat by a freshman. And she really did come out into that hallway trying to regulate and shit, and she really thought that she was gonna like I don't know, scare Alyssa, beat Alyssa's ass or whatever. I don't know what her plan was, but I bet you money it was not in her plans to get the shit beat out of her. Not like that. Kimberly was the one that got the worst punishment. She got suspended and she couldn't walk with her class for graduation. That was the other thing. I was like, why would you risk it to like fight during school when you know your ass is a senior? And schools love to do that. If you get in trouble and you're a senior, the biggest thing that they can hold over your head is you being able to walk with your class. And so obviously they're going to use that and they're going to take that privilege away from you. So she wasn't able to walk with her class, y'all, for graduation. Not only did she get an ass whooping, she got an ass whooping, got embarrassed in front of everybody, got her face all messed up, got suspended, and could not walk with the rest of her class because she wanted to fight Alyssa. After that happened, Tony and Kimberly were still together. That I know for certain because I even saw them outside of school, like at the movies and stuff, together after this fight happened. So I don't know how they made up or if they made up. To this day, I don't know if what Alyssa was telling me was true, like if Kimberly and Tony were really not together or what, because I mean, shortly thereafter, Kimberly and Tony were together. So I don't know if like Alyssa was actually talking to him knowing that he was still with Kimberly. I don't know. Or if she was telling the truth and like they were broke. I don't know. But all I do know is that just because you're a senior and just because you might be tall as hell and just because does not mean that you can win a fight. I'm just saying, like, don't ever underestimate somebody by their size, by their grade, by their age, because you never know, you might get your ass handed to you. All I'm saying is, number one, you know, think before you do shit. Don't risk everything you have, especially with graduation and shit, because like they will take that away from you, and sometimes fighting isn't worth it. Like at the end of the day, Alyssa was right to tell Kimberly, like, hey, if you got a problem with what the fuck your man is doing, you need to talk to your man. Don't be coming at me sideways, because then shit like this can happen and you lose more than you would have had you just like kept that between you and your man. You know, like he was the one seeking out Alyssa. He knew that he was with you. Alyssa was single. She can do whatever the hell she wants to do, but not him, you know? Think about it, okay? Think about it, because the smallest girl in your class may just be the craziest. She'll fuck your shit up. But anyways, that is the story about the birthday brawl at my shitty school. I hope you guys enjoyed it, this messy ass story. If you did, please don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up for story time in general. I love doing this. I love telling you guys some of my crazy stories. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of my ever-growing Glamazon family. I love each and every one of you guys. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because sometimes my videos may not be showing up in your subscription feed. If you guys would like more of me and my family, definitely check out our new family channel. It's the Glamour family. I will leave it linked down below in the description box, as well as somewhere here on the screen. Check out the channel, subscribe if you would like. We would love to have you be a part of our Glamour family, growing so fast. So I hope you join too. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Peace out.